Hello viewers, it's Ultimate Spy 53 here, and welcome into another episode of Reviewed. This is review number 43, and today I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who Series 8. So, Doctor Who Series 8. Did I like it? Yeah, it was fairly good. I thought it was well done. It was a good series. It was a new Doctor, obviously. It's the last one he generated from Matt Smith, and he's Peter Capaldi. Um, and the first episode, Deep Breath, it was a very interesting episode. It's kind of the chemistry between 12 and Clara. Like they're trying to figure out how they you know the chemistry is like kind of like classic Clara 11, but like it's new Doctor, so it's all everything's different. But honestly, it was really good. Deep Breath had to do the TARDIS going haywire, getting with Dinosaur and Victoria in London, and the Doctor finding out who he is because he's a new Doctor, and also you know they battle these clockwork dummy thingies, clockwork people that that's what it's called, deep breath, because you have to take deep breath. And we also get to him the first time we get to see 12. Ask about his face. He's like, oh well, I've seen his face before, but where have I seen it? It's like trying to tell me something. Um, Honestly, it was really interesting. It was very different than what we've seen before. I thought it was very good, very well done. It's a very long episode. This is a premiere, and actually it was the first premiere episode that we got to see in theaters. I actually remember seeing it in theaters. It was actually really good. Yeah, it was good. There's also references to like previous Avengers. Like it was a point in the episode where 12 is talking about like I wish I could really use Amy right now, and that's a reference to his previous incarnation. Um, Also, we get an updated TARDIS. Well, it's not really updated, but like color scheme is different. So basically, at the end of the episode, we have him defeating the Clockwork people. And in the other episode, we have a new updated TARDIS interior, which means that it's basically the same interior we've always had since the 2012 Christmas special, except it's now orange. Like the Time Watcher's lights are orange now, and he's added bookcases and chalkboards and just that kind of stuff. It's the same interior, but with different lighting. It's literally the same thing. What I didn't like about this episode, I'm gonna go for the bad and good. The bad was I didn't like that he got a new costume, which is always a good thing. That's always a thing, but he just like it looked like he got out of nowhere. It's like suddenly Clara enters the TARDIS, and then he's a new costume. It's like, where do you get that thing? I mean, I imagine that it probably he got from the below the TARDIS wardrobe, but like he didn't even explain it. Like, oh, now he has a new costume. I mean, I love the costume. It's a great costume. It's a great the blue combi coat and the cardinal underneath, and then the just white shirt. That's pretty awesome, but like, it didn't explain anything. It just suddenly he's a new costume. I mean, like past incarnations where we actually see him change into costume, like 10 and 11, we don't actually get to see him change. Suddenly this is a new costume. It was a good costume, but like, just didn't explain anything. It was a good. Also, we did return to the post gang, consisting of Madame Bastra, Jenny Flint, and Strax. That was overall was a good episode. Clara being in a kind of flashback to Victorian England, London, whatever episode, The Snowman, where she was a barmaid, and in this episode she just wears a similar kind of clothing like seen in Crimson Horror. So yeah, it was very interesting. It was very different than most premieres. I didn't hate it. It was just very unusual. It was long. I mean, it was very interesting episode because about holding her breath, and because she was like trying to like make sure that the Clockwork people that she was like them. Um, and overall, it was pretty good. You know, it was 12 being like, I mean, I'm Scottish. I can't complain about things now, and then I also explain like attack eyebrows. Honestly, I like the 12th Doctor. I mean, I don't. The only problem is costume. And I'll get that. I'll get into that next week, because the Series 9 review will be very different. It'll be just much I didn't like about it. But this first episode was very well done. I thought it was good. Other than the fact that it just didn't explain anything about the costume change. I mean, we can only assume that he went down into the TARDIS below and got a new set of clothes, but there's no reason, no explanation at all. So yeah, it was very interesting. And then the second episode, Into the Dalek. This was very good. This episode was the first time that 12 meets the Dalek. Well, he already knew, well, at least the first time that this incarnation meets a Dalek. I mean, he of course he has the same memory, so he knows what a Dalek is, but this is the first time this incarnation, 12 meets a Dalek. And it's basically this Dalek who's injured and he's a doctor, and they get Clara, who's now at Cool Hill School because she's been teaching there for a while, and she's also met Danny Pink by now, and he asks her to go into help because this pilot person, this woman, basically asks for help because she crashes and she needs the doctor's help. Actually, I noticed in this episode, it looks like a banshee, I think, from Halo. It looks really cool. So yeah, I thought this episode was well received by me. I thought it was really well done. It was really cool to see them shrink down into the size and being shifted into a Dalek. That was really cool. And overall, the Dalek was really cool because I can't remember the Doctor called the Dalek something. I can't remember. Crap. I can't remember the name of the Dalek that he called him. It was like a nickname for him or something. I don't remember. But obviously it was a very well done episode. It was a little bit confusing because we didn't really know the characters very much, but like, you know, the Doctor and Clara, and Clara is like upset about him, not killing the Dalek or whatever. That's basically that going into the Dalek to like help it out or something. So it was very weird. I didn't like it as much. It was a very different episode. And the most Dalek stories that I've seen. But it was overall really good. And that episode, yeah, Into the Dalek. It made sense. It's into the Dalek that it's making sense for that. And then Robot of Sherwood. This was actually the first episode we see a historical figure, or historical fiction figure. Robin Hood isn't actually real. He's a fictional character, but he's like historical in that way. So basically, the Doctor takes Clara to Sherwood to meet Robin Hood. Actually, this version of Robin Hood is actually my favorite. I did like the Carrie Elwes version from Men in Tights, but this one was very good. It was well, the acting was pretty good in this, and the Marion that he chose was very well done. I like the episode itself. It kind of reminded me like Charles Dickens in terms of the character they chose to the person they cast for him. It's really like Charles Dickens is, and it was very kind of period drama. It was the idea of robots attacking Sherwood, and the Doctor like investigating how it's all different because he's a new body, and of course he's like wondering how he got this body, like why he chose his body. He's still wondering that, and it's very funny because like he's always investigating. He's using his screwdriver to like buzz things, even though he doesn't really need to use that. And they find robots. Basically, it's the idea of robots. Attacking robot knights attacking Sherwood, and basically it's Doctor has to work with Robin Hood to solve everything. Actually, the costume design was actually really good. Clara was a really nice dress. I like that. And I love the battle between Robin Hood and the Doctor, where it's a spoon. It was really funny. It was a really great episode. But they had the spoon. It was really funny. Honestly, it was also love the moment where they used I think it was the scissors and then like to what to like whack the beam around. That was cool. Um, and of course the discovery of um, finding out that Robin Hood actually isn't actually real. Robin Hood coming to the truth that he's isn't actually real. He's a fictional character. Um, and honestly, I liked it. It was really cool. It was great to see them firing the golden era because all the special was golden it, so they had the like because that's all in the some King Richard or whatever. King Richard, yeah, I think that's King Richard. Um, but yeah, it was really really well done. I thought I liked it. I've seen various incarnations of Robin Hood, but this is in a Doctor Who episode. This was I liked it a lot. It was very well done. It was I felt it was like longer than I expected it to be, but it was it was very very well done. I liked it. It was the casting was pretty good. The reactions of meeting Robin Hood, the sheriff. I think it was I think I was a king. The sheriff of Nottingham. He calls the son of the screwdriver a wand. That was pretty funny to see that happen. So overall, it was really really good episode. The Doctor leaves. Robert Hood with Mary and every round. It was obviously it was really good. It was a very well done episode. I love the fact that at the beginning of the episode we have the Doctor says no, she's doing Robin Hood. I have an arrow flying out of the TARDIS and sticking to the door, and he's like, you cold? that was fantastic. So yeah, and then of course there's listen. And no, I'm not looking at a screen to tell me what episode's next. I just forgot. Listen, this episode was creepy. I didn't like it as much. It was dark and creepy. It was just ugh. I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it. It was definitely weird. Listen, I mean, it's based off of listening. It's basically the idea of looking under your bed for the monsters below, because the Doctor's looking at that. He takes Clara away from his date because apparently she's dating Danny Pink, and it's not going so well until he takes Clara to this West Children's some children's home. I can't remember what it is. In Westlake. No, that doesn't sound right. I don't know. Correct me in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. The place the Doctor takes Clara, to find the kid. And listen. He took something about some kind of children's home. If you know what I mean, correct me in the comments. But I don't remember. I mean, I would look at my phone, but I don't want to because I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to look at the episode. I don't. It was very dark. It was very creepy. They come to it. It's very one of those kind of weeping angel meets the darkens of the night and stuff. It kind of like Night Terrors. Those dark episodes of Doctor Who you've seen. It's kind of like that. They basically find this creature. It can listen under bed. It was very dark. It was interesting because we have Clara telling this little boy that it's okay and everything, and honestly it was different because the well obviously this oh yeah, that's right. So they made this. I just remember now. So they meet this soldier who's also named Pink. He's also like Danny Pink, and they bring him. They like from the future, and it's basically him talking to Clara. Not the real Danny Pink, whatever. It was really weird. It was confusing, and I kind of had the vibe of Midnight from series 4. That episode was really creepy, but this one episode was really it just kind of had that vibe to it. Also having the creature thing enter the bed and get under the blankets, that was just wow. It was dark. It was a very dark episode. Apparently the whole time it was the Doctor's nightmare. So yeah, it was very interesting. I liked it. It was creepy. And of course there's Time Heist. I did not like this episode. It was confusing and it was weird and it was just it didn't make sense. Apparently the Doctor and Clara get a chest call and there's this bank to break into it or whatever, steal some kind of thing. They get this augmented human gamer called Psy and this African American woman called Reba, I think. She's basically a shapeshifter. I think she's Muslim too. I don't know. That's what she looked. She's what she looked like. Um, and that it was really interesting. Basically, go on this time heist to bring it to a bank, and apparently the whole time the doctor was setting up this time heist, to basically bring it to a bank, and basically the head of everything, she like cloned her of herself. What was it called again? Well, it's the Bank of Chiropraxis, but it's the I'm sorry, I just can't remember what it was called. It was just it was architect finding telling them to go to the bank, but it was also there's always a monster doctor, and the monster that's supposed to tell it. Basically, if you think it'll kill you, I think that's how it is. It's really creepy. It was very ugh. I don't know what it was. I can't explain it. It was this woman who basically cloned herself, and she's basically head of the bank, and it was just weird. And apparently, so Sai dies and Reba dies, and turns out they was teleported, and they get into all these other people suits. It was really weird. And apparently, it was also about the Doctor. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. Because we have the one possible catchphrase the Doctor has is "shut up, shut up, shut her up, up, up." That was. It isn't a catchphrase. It's just weird. I did not like this episode. It was just confusing and weird and just didn't make sense. And then there's of course a caretaker. Now this one was actually well received. I liked it. I thought it was really well done. It's basically the Doctor becoming a caretaker for the same school that the Clara teaches at. In this course, in this case, he's called the caretaker, and he's watching over the school because he's alien activity. There's alien activity at the school, and he has to like protect it. Also, the first time that Clara wears makeup, like realistically, she wears lipstick. I can't help it. I'm just so obsessed with it. I'm not really. It's creepy. But anyway, this episode was really well done. I liked it. It was had more of this. I kind of showed more of Coal Hill School. There's also this creature. This alien is always a monster Doctor Who, and this alien creature, who looks like the whatever those creatures are that have like the weird hair thingy, but not the weird like spiky hair with the weird eyes. I don't know. You'd recognize it if I told you. It's the monster that was the big like four crawly monster. It was really strange, but it was really creepy too. It was kind of like a copy of the. I haven't played Mass Effect in a while, so I remember like the monster, but it was just it was weird. But we finally have Danny Pink, who's not the boyfriend of Clara. It's been a while since he's just like obviously the boyfriend. They always hit it off, and he's the boyfriend, and basically he finds the truth. He finds the fact that Clara's been traveling with the Doctor for a while, and it's really weird. Oh, there was one really funny part of the episode where Doctor's like, how can you think I'm a space dad? We look like the same age. I think there's a point where 12 forgets he's not alive anymore. That was funny. But overall it was really interesting. We have this young girl, young African American girl who was it again? It was this girl. What's his name? What was her name? Oh, crap. Courtney. I'm forgetting these names. I'm sorry. I can't remember. Courtney, and they have to find. And she basically like her curiosity gets the better of her, and she delves into the TARDIS, and discovers the Doctor, and of course the next episode she's in that too. But this episode was really weird because it's like finding out about Danny finding out about the Doctor and everything like that. It was really weird to see everything like that. Yeah, it was. I really liked it though. It was very cool. Basically this monster called the Skovok Splitzer. this monster, this creature, this robotic life form thing. It's really weird. Um, it was really good. I liked it. It was funny and had some humor and great episode. And the doctor pretending he's the caretaker, doing a really funny job because he keeps calling Danny a PE teacher even though he's not. He's a math teacher. It's funny. Also Killer Moon. It was confusing. Apparently it was a bad idea that they go to the moon and the moon hatches. And then also there's a group of astronauts, but I don't even know who they are. They're just random people. I don't even know these random people. I didn't like it as much. It was weird. I mean, I know a lot of episodes I didn't like, but this was confusing. It was weird. I didn't. Apparently the doctor having an idea of like killing the moon or saving it. Apparently it was hatching, and there's all these giant spider things because it's also the first episode the doctor takes Courtney on the trip, and she's already bored and everything. It's creepy. It's one of those really creepy episodes. Yeah, it was. I don't remember much of it, but it was a very dark episode because Courtney gets said she starts posting things on Instagram, I think it was, Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. Tumblr. I forgot Tumblr. It was really weird. This episode was just crazy. But that's also the idea of like Clara having an argument with the doctor about like saving the Earth or whatever, and eventually at the end of the episode we find out that she's not gonna stay with the doctor anymore. She's done with it. Also, we have this great line from 12 where she's I'm talking about Courtney, but 12 says that when Courtney throws up, the daughter's like, there has been a spillage. That was funny. So yeah, it was. This episode was just confusing. It didn't make sense at all. The characters didn't make sense. In fact, no one really introduced themselves. It was weird because astronauts were just. I don't know, it was not my favorite. But the following episode was fantastic. It was awesome. Mummy on the Orient Express. This episode, of course, it was this whole entire series that took me forever to get through. But this episode was fantastic. It had the Doctor in his this kind of third Doctor attire. They were on the sort of historical train, much bigger but in space, and it's called the Orient Express. It was a very good episode. I love this. It was basically about the Doctor taking Clara for one last trip before they officially depart ways. And basically this ship with this mummy, this mummy is on this train in space, and it's like the only person who can see is the person that's about to die, and it's just creepy. But it was also really good. Some really great some references. We have the jelly babies back. We have in a way we have jelly babies in its case instead of like a bag, because that's more of a thing full. But obviously it was really well done. And it was some great character we get Perkins. I love Perkins. He was so funny and awesome and crazy guy. He finds out at the end of the episode he sees the Doctor's engine in the TARDIS. He likes the engine, and then of course we have the daughter of the woman who died, who was killed by the mummy. And also this really great line from 12 where he's like, hello, I'm the Doctor. I'll be a victim this evening. Are you my mummy? And that's a quote from 9 and 10, or at least the era, the whole "you are you my mummy" thing. It's the returning thing. Also Clara looks amazing in this episode. She has 20s hair and lipstick, that kind of thing. It was great. This episode was great. It was kind of like a clue episode where everyone's trying to figure out how each person is about to die, or there's always I think there's about 60 seconds. Is that it? No, I think it's a specific amount. I think it's 62 seconds. I don't remember. I think it's about 62 seconds that everyone has before they die. 66. I don't remember. It's really confusing episode. But I mean, not confusing. I don't exactly remember how much there was. But it was really good. I thought it was really good. There was also this character, this voice automated thing called Gus, and he basically think of it as like an artificial intelligence program who's basically kind of like Wheatley from Portal 2, who eventually takes over, and it's crazy. But obviously it was a really good episode. We have, Danger calling Clara and everything. That was awesome. I thought it was very well done. It was, the Doctor wearing his 20s bed Doctor attire. I'm almost saying that because he looks like when the Doctor is a whole collar thing. But honestly, this episode was great. I loved it. At the end of the episode, we have apparently the Orient Express gets destroyed, and then Perkins gets to see the engine. It's really great. I really hope Perkins comes back in series 10. I do. But yeah, this episode was great. And then, let's see, Flatline. Oh my god, this episode, Flatline. Ugh, this was weird. So it had the Doctor with Clara and this new guy Riggsy. Basically the idea of this something that can put you into the ground, and everything that goes into everything 3D becomes 2D, and everything gets sucked into the ground. It was, this episode was just strange. I'm gonna say that for a lot of episodes because a lot of the episodes were just weird, but this one was just out of this world. I didn't hate it. It was just weird. The idea of this everything coming together, this everyone getting trapped into the walls. It was weird. It was just a strange episode. It had some great moments in it though. Let's see. It had another call. I think it was a callback to Ten's area where Ten names a monster. He names the Carradines, and this is also the first time since then the Doctor names a monster he's fought. I can't remember what they were, but it was a really good episode. Also, it had a Pixar reference, the Abel 1-3 reference. That was a really great reference. It was cool. But yeah, it was really well done. I thought I loved it. No, did I love it? No, I'm not. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I just, it was confusing. It was weird. I did like when the TARDIS become this kind of, Pandorica box thing. That was cool. And also the Doctor using a screwdriver in a proper way. I'm sorry, I'm having a crack. But yeah, this episode was really strange. It was also this guy this old man who was telling being all rough and everything. It was confusing. I remember a lot of it because I remember now. So the Doctor gets shrunk into the TARDIS. He gets shrunk. The TARDIS becomes smaller, and then he becomes like this face against the box. He can't get out of the TARDIS. I remember now. That was great. And then Doctor using his hand to crawl away. That was funny. Also, I believe they used a fly control TARDIS for this. It was fantastic. I loved it so much. It was awesome. So yeah, of course the end of the episode was just them actually going away and everything being solved. But yeah, I love the episode. The fact that Doctor becomes small and he's so cute, and then it's this toy TARDIS that you can get out of. It was awesome. And then the Forest of the Night. This episode was just confusing. Another that confusing episode. Basically the London wakes up in forest. Basically, this forest grows over London. It was strange. It was just another one of those episodes. Just okay, this is a very strange episode. But yeah, it was. I thought it was well done. I liked it. It was interesting because it had the Coal Hill School on an adventure, and one of the girls in the class, May, I think it's May, she gets lost and she becomes the Forest of the Night. And the episode title was really cool too. It was cool. I also loved the line when one of the kids shines a light into one of the other students, and then Danny Pink's this flash not a supernova. It was just crazy. But honestly, the chemistry between the Doctor and Clara was great. Having having Maeve come to the doctor, and he's like, "Have you scheduled an appointment?" And then he lets him in, and everyone, all the kids are in. That was awesome. I just loved it. It was fantastic. So yeah. Anything else about the episode? Overall, the stuff about, you know, with the doctor and Clara and everything, it's just awesome. It was crazy. And then apparently finding out about the Force, you know, having them all come together and, you know, find out about why the Force was happening. It was crazy. And then the two-part finale. Basically turned the Cybermen after Man Silver. It was basically also the, you know, the idea of dark water, and then the Return of the Master. It was really strange because Danny Pink dies in this episode, which is horrifying apparently. But honestly, this episode was crazy. It had Missy, who is also known as a Mistress and Master. She comes back. It's confusing because how can she, you know, she regenerates into a new body, I guess, because that's all we've been known as the Master just takes a new body. I don't really know. But honestly, this first two-parter was really great. The like, because, you know, Danny Pink dies and you want us to bring him back, and it's the idea of dark water, and apparently the whole scheme is the fact that the Cybermen are coming back once again, because they always come back in the end. But honestly, it was fantastic. It was some great moments in the episode. We have Clara talking to Danny, and, you know, it was, wow, this episode was great. I also have Missy, you know, kissing the doctor. That was funny. And overall, it was great because, you know, like, you know. Oh wait, and I missed something. Flatline, Dr. Oswald. I'm just gonna say that. I know I'm missing something Flatline, but this episode was great. It had the return of Cybermen, and it had the return of Osgood and Kit Stewart, who is it's the first time for them that they've met the Doctor, because they haven't seen the new incarnation, and they apparently recognize him. Apparently, also Osgood's wearing a bow tie. That was great. Let's see, anything else? Overall, the episode was fantastic. I had the idea of QW, I think, or whatever. CW, no, QW. QW is this thing where you can, like, live life again, it's like the afterlife or something like that. Of course, after for Danny, but honestly, it was awesome. And then of course, I think the Death in Heaven, it was the idea of Cybermen are all over Earth, kind of like the Zygon invasion, except with Cybermen. Basically, the entire Earth is being, you know, controlled by Cybermen, and it's the new version, not the old version, the new version. So it was honestly really great. I really thought it was well done. It was great how you know, 12, how Kate Stewart and Osgood recognized 12. Now I really couldn't hear this episode as much. And also the fact that they could recognize Missy. And also, it was really, I didn't like this episode, the episode climax where Osgood gets disintegrated by Missy, because Missy's so creepy and insane. It just, this episode was crazy. But honestly, it was also really cool because we have Danny in a Cyberman outfit. I'm talking about the entire two-parter because it's like 2 episodes but like 1 story. So it was honestly really fantastic. And then we have, you know, the Doctor's finding out he's not a good man, he's an idiot. And then Missy getting disintegrated by a reanimated Lethbridge Stewart. That was really That was really cool. So yeah, it was a great episode. I loved it. It was very emotional because we have Danny Pink and he'd been converted, or at least sort of converted. I don't know. It's like he's like in the Cybermen, which is very strange. I didn't really have anything to say about that. It was emotional. It was confusing. Well, the confusing part was, like, you know, how Danny Pink becomes a Cyberman, and how, you know, and you know, how Missy dies or whatever, or Osgood dies. Apparently she didn't die, but yeah, it was strange. It was very strange. Yeah, is there anything else I missed about this episode? Um, yeah. Oh yeah, the president. Yeah, that was it was a really cool actual picture of the brigadier from the, I think it was the 80s, on the plane. Because they go on a plane and they like the president. Yeah, that was cool. But part of the president of the Earth is Doctor. I don't know. I think the president of the Earth is the Doctor. I don't know. So the Death in Heaven was really great. We have we have the Missy apparently dying. We have the brigadier shooting her. We have all the Cybermen going up in space, and we have it was honestly, one of those things where it's like really Moffat Cyberman again. I think one of those things was like an excuse to bring back an old monster, like a creature we've already seen a lot of times. Like we don't really need that happen again. Also, the Christmas special. So one last episode, the Christmas special, Last Christmas. It literally is called Last Christmas. It's not called Last Christmas. It's literally called Last Christmas. So it's also the first time we have Santa Claus, and also the Doctor wears a hoodie in this. Oh, God, what happened to his cool Crombie coat and vest? Now it's like a hoodie. I don't understand it. It was weird. I mean, also the idea of the Doctor of Clara not believing Santa, and then there's this adventure about going up. I think it's the dream crab thingies that go over your face, and then you become all crazy. And then also really cool pun. Santa Claus is played by Nick Frost. Get it? Because it's Saint Nicholas and it's Frost because it's White Christmas. Yeah. That's a pretty funny pun actually. I like this. It was okay. It was actually a fairly good episode, fairly good Christmas special. I really liked it. I mean, I've the other specials I've liked, but this episode was just, in terms of the first, Capaldi special, it was well done. I also have the Clara going into like a dream state where she sees Danny Pink because he died in the previous episode. And apparently this whole idea of Doctor, I didn't die saving the Earth, I died saving Clara. Yeah, I didn't die saving the world, I died saving Clara, and that's true because he did. And Doctor trying to tell Clara that everything's not real, nothing you're seeing is real. And then it was honestly it was creepy. With the whole dream, with the whole thing on her face. But honestly, it was awesome. Also, there's this crew who find it's basically this station. Is this crew, led by I think one of the women is Shauna, who they're trying to figure out to combat this creature, and it's really weird because they have these books and they have pick a number on a page and you'll find a number. But honestly, it was weird because I don't. The only thing I didn't like about this is the Doctor wearing a hoodie, because it's like the first time we actually wearing a hoodie is his costume change. But honestly, I thought it was well done. I thought I enjoyed it. It was a little confusing because I don't remember, actually because I don't remember much of it, but it was well done. I liked it. I had a little thing at the end with the kind of the reminiscent of the Christmas Carol episode of Eleven's Era where they're on a sleigh and they kind of hang them through the air. That part was great because it's this kind of reminiscent of that where they're on a sleigh and they're dropping off and then suddenly they apparently it's a dream, so they wake up and everything, and then also there's a great moment where Clara becomes like old Clara, kind of like with the Doctor in Time of the Doctor, and then she becomes old, about as old as 12 in terms of how he looks, but honestly it was fantastic. I hope Shauna comes back because she was a really interesting character. Also, we have a great quote from the 12. It's my favorite quote of all of them. And well, I think one of the characters, one of the side characters brings up the movie Alien. I haven't seen it yet because I'm a doofus because it's a horror movie, where someone brings up Alien, and the Doctor's like, "There's a horror movie called Alien." No wonder everyone keeps debating you. It was a fantastic, funny line. You're just like, well, yeah, no wonder everyone keeps evading you. There's a whole movie called Alien. Of course, everyone's gonna keep evading you, and it was funny just to see the Doctor react like that. It was awesome. So yeah, honestly, this episode was fantastic. I liked it a lot. And yeah, I think that'll bring me to the end of this review. Overall, what do I think of Series 8? I'd give it a um, 8 out of 10. Why? Well, the other two are going to go for the um, confusing episodes. The episodes that really didn't make sense. They were just kind of boring, everything like that. Um, I would have gotten it higher, but just because of the um, the confusing writing into the episodes. I mean, not all the episodes were bad, um, but my pros are the Doctor's awesome costume, and you know the episodes was all really well done, and the character development. What I didn't like about it was, um, well, obviously Deep Breath, where the Doctor didn't really, you know, didn't really show a wardrobe change. He just suddenly appears in a new costume. And obviously there's the whole idea about like him going into the wardrobe and finding a new costume, but like he didn't explain it. And then the other is, you know, the episodes that really didn't make sense and really kind of fast paced and really didn't get enough development time. But honestly, that's about it. Yeah, I'll do it for this episode. Series 8, great series. The special was also great. Some great, funny, kind of puns, references to. And honestly, it was fantastic. Obviously, this is the only time that Doctor wears his Series 8 costume, because otherwise he's not going to wear it anymore. Well, I say very interested in Series 9, but I'll talk to you about it next week. So yeah, that'll do it for this episode. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed me talking about the series and what I thought about it. Yeah, if you did like it, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. And I will see you in the next one. Have a Merry Christmas for me, to all of you who have seen this is around the Christmas holiday. So yeah, I will see you in the next episode. Alright, see ya.